Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again. My name is Mashabi. Me and my teammates Omran and Abdullah will give a review about the projects and the steps we've done until now in the project. So let's start. So this is our agenda, and we go through all the processes that we've done until the last process, which is risk plan management. So first, let's define our project. So what is our project? Our project is an introductory course about the Faculty of Engineering to the high school student to increase the awareness about the King Abdulaziz University, the preparatory year, the Faculty of Engineering, and the mechanical major. And in our course, will be implemented in 3 days, 2 hours per day, and our target group is high school students. And in our project, in any project, there are 5 source of outcomes. If it's product outcome, or is it a service outcome, product outcome, or results outcome. So our project is a service outcome project, and deliverables are the main things that will be delivered to the client or the customer for the project. So we have here 5 major deliverables: announcing the course, then introducing the preparatory year, then introducing the Faculty of Engineering. This will be in the 2nd day, and then in the 3rd day we will implement some experiment session to this with the students, and finally the final outcome. So let's go with the first step in managing the project. So the first one is the project charter, and it is the first thing that you need to do in implementing the project or managing the project. And it is the input for many processes in the future, or in the next processes. So we have main 4 imports: business documents, agreements, EF, and OPA. EF is the enterprise environmental factors, and OPA is the organizational process assist. And we have some tools and techniques to do the project charters, and then the outcome is the project charter and assumption law. So in the project charter, the first thing is to be determined is the project purpose. And the purpose in our project is the increased awareness of high school students about the Faculty of Engineering and the mechanical engineering major. And this is the main goal that we have for our project. And then the second thing you need to determine is the objectives for your project. So the objectives is the goals that you will deliver in your project. So the first goal is increase the awareness for the students about the requirements of the Faculty of Engineering. Then give a basic mechanical engineering to the students. Then acquire some skills to the students for doing practical experiments. Then educating the students about the university requirements, and finally realizing the pathways of the preparatory year. Then let's go to the high-level requirements. Requirements are the things we need to have to do the project. So first, we need approvals from the Faculty of Engineering to adopt our project. Then we need a place to present the course. Then we need the presenters and approvals from the presenters. Then the course content, and finally the experimental tools to do the experiments. The high-level project description is a description about what our project is like. Deliver a clear vision to those who are about to enter the university of what they need to study this major, the mechanical engineering, and what they will learn in it. Let's go to milestone schedule. And milestones are the main tasks that you need to do in your project. So we have 4 main tasks in our project. So the first one is announcing the course. The second one is presenting the prepared year. The third one is introducing the College of Engineering or the Faculty of Engineering. And finally, do the experimental session. So these are the 4 main milestones we have in our project. Let's go to the financial resources. This is an approximate calculation of the budget that we need to do the project, and it is approximately equal to 6,100 riyals. I'm going to the stakeholder lists, and these are the stakeholders or the involved people that will be in our project. So the first one is the Faculty of Engineering. The second one is Al-Gharsa Mubarak office. The third one is the project organizers or the teams we are. And the fourth one is the presenters that will present the course. And finally, the students. So those are the stakeholders for our project. Let's go to the approval requirements. We have in our project 3 main approvals we need to take at the beginning of the project. So the first one is the approval from the Faculty of Engineering to adopt our project. The second one is approval from the Al-Gharsa Mubarak office to support us and be our sponsor. And the final one, approval from the presenters to present the course. So these are the 3 main approvals, and all of those were a part of the project charter. So we are still in the project charter. We're defining the project charter. First step. So in the project charter, we have the exit criteria, the project exit criteria, the outcome of the project. So the outcome in our project is students aware of a university requirement and the basic of engineering. This is the outcome that we have in our project. Assigning the project manager. The project manager for our project will be me, Anas Mashabi, and those are the responsibilities that the manager have. And going to the last thing in the project charter, which is name and authority for the sponsor. We have 2 sponsors in our project, the Faculty of Engineering and Al-Gharsa Mubarak office, and those are the authority that they have. So this is the last thing in the project charter. Let's go to the next step, which is identifying the stakeholders. And as I mentioned, the stakeholders are the people or organizers, organization that involved in our project. And to identify the stakeholders, we have some inputs, tools, and outputs. For the input, we will use the project charter that we did previously, and previous business documents, project management plan will be explained next one. Project documents, agreements, even alpha. And we will use some tools and techniques to have the final output, which is the stakeholder register. So let's go to the stakeholder register. In the stakeholder register, we will define the stakeholder by defining his name, the stakeholder's name, who the representative from the stakeholder, and then how to contact with the stakeholder, and how much this stakeholder have power, interest, impact, and influence. So here we have the first stakeholder is the Faculty of Engineering. This is our first stakeholder, the Al-Ghasm Mubarak office. The second one, project organizers or team. Then the presenters and the students, and finally the manager. And this table shows part of the stakeholder register, and not all of it. So in this part, we can see the power, interest, impact, and influence for each stakeholder. And this one is the second part of the stakeholder register, and it is answer of two questions. The first one is what is important to the stakeholder, what he is interested in. And the second one is the how could the stakeholder contribute to the project, and how can he affect the project, and how can he support the project. So and this table shows part of the stakeholder register and answer for these two questions for each stakeholder. So let's go to the final part of the stakeholder register, and this part shows the answers of two questions also. The first one is how could the stakeholder block the project, and the second one is the strategy to engage the stakeholder. How can we inform the stakeholder about the development of the project? So this was the stakeholder register, and it is under identifying the stakeholder. So let's go to the project management plan, and the project management plan actually is the master plan for the project, is the main plan for the project, and it is an input for each process in the project. That's why we call it a master plan. And in the master plan, we have only four inputs: the project charter, the outputs from all process, and we mean by that after each process, we will develop something in the project management plan, and we will say it in the processes. And the third one is the EVE, and the fourth one is the OPA. And the end is the project management plan, and it is consists of about 11 processes. Will be next. We will describe next in the next slides. So let's go to the first one in the project management plan, which is scope management, plan scope management. And we mean by that how to deal with the scope of in the management, and what is the scope, what is the purpose, what is the goal of our project. And as we mentioned, the input for it is the project charter, which is main things, the master plan, project management plan, even OPA. Those are main inputs for each process that we will have in the next processes. So we have some tool and techniques, and finally we have the outputs, the scope management plan, and requirements management plan. And going to do the plan or implement the plan, we will first collect the requirements. And what do you mean by that? We will see what are the requirements that we have in our project, and we will do what is called the requirement traceability matrix, and this is the output from this step, so or the process. So we have, as we said, an input. These are the inputs for this step, and those are the tool and techniques, 8 tool and techniques that can be implemented to do this step or process. And we have the outputs is there's the requirement documentation and requirement traceability matrix. So what is the requirement traceability matrix in our project? We have, this is the requirement traceability matrix. We can say the source of requirements or the stakeholder, and the description of the requirements here, then the in scope for the project, the business needs and opportunity goals, the in scope in our project, then the out of scope in our project, and we have the product design, product development, and product test in the three column here. And of course, we have the project name and project description. So here we have for example, the source for the first requirement is the College of Engineering or Faculty of Engineering, and the requirement is that the presenters that will present the course should or must be KU students, King Abdulaziz University students. So this is the description for the requirement. This is the in scope, out of scope, the product design, development, and testing. We have this is the first requirement, second one, the third one is from Al-Ghasem Mubarak, also the first one, and we have also all the in scope, out scope description for each requirement. The manager source, this one is from the manager, and this is the third part of the table. And this is the final part of the table, which shows all the final three requirements. So this is the requirement traceability matrix, and after that we identified the requirements or collected the requirements. So let's go to defining the scope statement, and this one will be presented by my teammate Imran.
Assalamu alaikum. In this part of scope management, we are going to define the scope statement. The input to this part is, as usual, the project charter and the project management plan. Also, the project documents such as assumption log, requirements, documentations, and risk register, if and OPA. The output of this part will be the scope statement and another update to the assumptions log and the other documents, and the tools that you are going to use to define the scope statement is, as usual, expert judgment, data analysis, decision making, interpersonal and team skills, and finally, product analysis. Okay. From this diagram, we will use these topics to define, to clearly define the scope statement. Actually, we focused on these four topics to define our scope, starting from product scope descriptions, which is the inner scope. After that, the product acceptance criteria and project deliverables, and finally, project exclusions, which is the outer scope. Okay. In the project scope description, we focused on the student should realize or should realize the reality of the university life. Okay, we are going to make the students be, as you can say, fully aware about the life in the university, what he is going to face during the years and studying the major. Also, the student should know about the requirements of the university. Also, in the course, from our inner scope, renting a suitable hall for the students and ensure that the students get information easily and share the course to largest number of students. Okay. After that, acceptance criteria, which is high school students turn out for the course, assigning a test after the course to ensure that the information reaches to all the students. And finally, developing a questionnaire to ensure the course succeeds. Okay. The project deliverables divided into direct outputs and additional outcomes. Okay. Starting from direct outputs, our deliverables are announcing the course, presenting the introductory session about the preparatory year, and about the College of Engineering, basically, and finally presenting a practical session. Our additional outcomes are testing the results to ensure that the students understood what we presenting to them. And finally, we will do a questionnaire to the student, and these are additional deliverables. Finally, the outer scope is increasing the number of courses offered on the name of the university. Also, the presenters who are students also from the university will gain additional experience to refine their skills. More students will be registered to the university, and also Al-Gharsal Mubarak office will make a relationship with the university and also gain a better reputation in the society. Okay. After that, the fourth step in the scope management is the work breakdown structure. It is an easy way to subdividing the major deliverables to make it smaller and more manageable components. Okay, we're going to divide our tasks into subtasks to make it easy to do and easy to manage, and to make it easy to add a resource on each of the subtasks. Okay, this is our breakdown structure. This is the name of our project. These are the main tasks that we have to do to finish our project. And these are the activities that we are going to implement during the progress of the project. Starting with the approvals, we need to have approvals from the university and from the Al-Gharsal Mubarak office, and finally from the presenters themselves. Okay. After that, the service will divide it into specify the type and the variety of the services that we are going to give to the students or the audience in general, and purchasing the goods. Okay. About the experiment, determine the type of the experiences, and preparing the tools. And in the certifications topic, we are going to design it and print it out. In the curriculum task, we're going to prepare the contact and the presentations, and finally design it and print it out. Okay, this for the audience. We're going to announce the course. We'll design the ad or the way to make the students join the course, and then we will distribute it. And finally, for the place, we will rent a hall, and after that we will prepare it to the students. After that, we will move to the schedule management, starting with the plan. As in the previous plan, the input of each plan step, as usual, will be a project charter and the project management plan, also the if and or. The output will be the schedule plan, and the tools that we are going to use is experiment judgment and data analysis and meetings. Starting with define the activities that we are going to do. In this step, the output should be the activity list, attribute, milestone list, change requested, and another update to the management plan. The tools that we are going to use is experiment judgment, decomposition, rolling wave planning, and meetings. We did this to our project, so we list all our activities and attributes and the milestones for our project. I gathered them in one schedule to make it simple to explain to you. In the first column, you will see our tasks. After that, the activities, as I mentioned before a minute, and this the attributes. Okay, all the highlighted square are the milestones of our projects. So having an approval from the college and from Al-Gharsa Mubarak office, we'll consider as a milestone for our projects after having all these approvals, okay? After that, preparing the presentation or finishing the contact will also be a milestone for our project. Okay. After that, renting the hall. After finishing renting the hall, also consider as a milestone for our project. Finally, determine the type of the experiment, and finally, printing the certifications. This is the last milestone in our project. Sequence of the activities is an important step to organize your activities by the priority, okay? Because any late in the activities might delay the whole project. So giving it a sequence giving it a good sequence is a really important task to do in the project. The input to this step is the project management plan and all the project documents and EVE and OPA. The output that we will gain from this step is a scheduled network diagram and another update to the project documents. Okay. The tools that we are going to use in this step is precedence diagram method and dependency determination and integration, leads and lags, and project information and project management information systems. For the last one, these systems are such like MS Project that provided from Microsoft. It's an easy way to organize your activities and tasks in the project, and we will see our activities listed in the Microsoft project lately. Okay. This is the precedence diagram method. This diagram shows basically all the activities in your project, okay, and all the relations between each activities, okay. SS relations mean start-to-start relation. So any task with this relation are going to start at the same time, okay? Or sometimes you may have a lag between the activities, such as these activities, okay? The other relation is finish to start. Okay, any relation that doesn't have any note, it is a finish to start relation. Finish to start relation means the predecessor needs to finish to start the successor activity. Okay. Also, we have finish to finish relation, which means these two tasks must be finished at the same time. And there is a for relation, which is start to finish, which is the opposite of the finish to start, which means the successor need to start, or after the successor starts, the predecessor finishes. Okay. After that, we'll move to the next step, which is estimating the duration of the activities. In this step, this is our input, project management plan, the project documents, if and OPA, and these our outputs will be the duration estimates, basis of estimates, and update to the project documents. The tools that we are going to use here is expert judgment, analogous estimating, which is based on any other similar project to your project. You can estimate the duration of your project based on any similar project. Okay. The parametric estimating depends on some algorithms that will calculate the duration of each activities and the whole duration of your project. 3-point estimating is based on simple mathematical equation that help you to calculate the duration of your projects. And these are another tools, which is bottom-up estimating, data analysis, decision-making, and meetings. We will simply explain what we mean by 3-point estimating, okay? These are the equations that will help you to calculate the duration of your activity or your whole project, okay? We mean by TE, the estimated time for your project. And we will calculate it using these variables, okay? Starting with the optimistic time. And we mean by that the shorter time to finish the project, by assuming that we won't have any delay or unfinished activities, okay? And the optimistic time, it is the longest time that your project might take to finish, okay? And the most likely time, as when you compare your project with another or similar project, okay? By most likely, we mean the usual time that takes to finish the projects, such your projects, okay? Using these 3 variables, we can have 2 curves. The first one is called beta distribution, and the other one is triangular distribution, okay? By adding your variables depending on your project, you will have an estimated time for your whole project. After that, we are going to develop a schedule for our projects. These are the inputs to this step, and this the outputs from that step. We will have the schedule baseline, project schedule, schedule data, project calendars, change requested, and another update to the project management. The tools that we are going to use are schedule network analysis, critical path method, resource optimization, data analysis, leads and lag also, schedule compression, project management information systems, and Eagle relays planning, okay? The most important between them is the critical path method, because it shows you the most important activities that you need to consider and focus on during your project. Because any delay in these activities will mean the delay of your whole project. So it's need to done at time and start at the time. Okay. We will show you how to do the critical path and how we implement this method on our project. Okay. So now I'm going to share. I'm going to share the activity list, or in the beginning, I'm going to share with you the activity list on the Microsoft project. Okay. For our project, these are the activity list, and these are the main tasks, and these are the subtasks, which is for activities. Okay. Here you can see the relations with the other activities in the project. And in the right panel here, you can see the Gantt chart of our project, showing to you the starting time and the finishing time of the project. These red marked bars are showing to you the critical path in our project. Okay. So all of these highlighted tasks are important and need to finish without any late. Okay. Microsoft project helps us by many tools to represent our project clearly to the stakeholders and all the employees in the project. Okay, some of these methods are the calendar inside the Microsoft project. All these highlighted activities are the critical activities, and you can see when it starts and finish. Also, you can see a network diagram to to all of your activities. Okay, and it shows to you the relation between them. Okay, these are the beginning, which communicating with the administration in the university and administration in the office, in the Alghamdi office, and finally, this is the critical path, and these are the critical activities. Okay. We used a website on the internet to do the critical path manually. Okay. Also, absolutely, we finally have the same results that a Microsoft project offered to us easily. Okay, but we did it to know how much each activities can be late or be earlier. Okay, so this is our activity list, and this is our critical path diagram for the projects. After that, we will go to the cost management plan with my teammate, Abdullah.